All right, good afternoon, traders. Today is January 24th, 2025. This is BYOB Market Wrap Up or Trade Review. Let's go take a look at some charts today. So for SPY, we had a breakdown. Here's price action. All right, so we opened up here, way up here we opened up. You can see price went up for like 1-2 candles, provided us with a whole lot more wick than we had tail and body. And then we had a red candle, and then we kind of fluttered down, had a pullback back up to test the opening print. And from there, we kind of faded off into the sunset to make a lower low for the day. So we made a low, made a lower high, made a lower low. Okay, this we did on the 10-minute chart. You can see right here, made a higher high. All right, from here, we made a higher high. And from here, we made a higher low from here, but we made a lower high from there, and then also from here we made a lower low. So kind of got a 10-minute downtrend coming into the close. Last candle here kind of looking like it wants to rally back towards VWAP. It's got about 5 minutes left. All right, you can see here price action. We're probably going to have a 10-minute uptrend going into the close as we get a rally back towards the falling VWAP here. All right, on the daily chart, we're bullish. On the 2-hour chart, we're bullish. You can see here's a 2-hour chart. We're still bullish. There's some space between that 8 EMA and the 3 EMA up there, so we're bullish on the SPY 2-hour chart. We are bullish on the 10-minute. You can see we got a cross right here, getting a little rally back up towards the high. On the daily chart, you can see we're still bullish. All right, price action, higher low, higher high, new all-time high for SPY today, closing over the bullish trap, over the 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP, up there in quadrant 4. See that all the way up there, quadrant 4, new all-time high for SPY today. Let's take a look at QQQ. QQQ got an outside day, higher low, lower high, closing over the trap, over the 17 EMA, up there in quadrant 4. Let's take this off, and this off, and this off. Let's move this. You got the all-time high anchored VWAPs, the blue line right here. You see price action up over the blue line, up into quadrant 4 up here. All right, so there's QQQ, still in an uptrend, up in quadrant 4 over the all-time high anchored VWAP. So QQQ still in a daily uptrend. FNGU, all right, puts in, wow, really close to challenging the all-time high today. Okay, look at this, higher low, higher high, closing over the trap, over the 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP, over the downtrend line, at the height of quadrant 4, still respecting that uptrend. FNG in an uptrend. Let's take a look at IWM. All right, IWM in an uptrend. They took out this high, so price action for today is a higher low and a higher high, closing over the trap, closing over the all-time high anchored VWAP, closing over the 17 EMA, still stuck underneath the top 30. All right, so just kind of neutral, on the bullish side of neutrality here for IWMs. Take a look at Diamond Dow. Inside day, lower high, higher low, closing over the trap, over the 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. It's just a label, but it's still in a downtrend because it has not broken this high. Okay, so there's on the Diamond Dow on the daily chart. Okay, not to say it doesn't have a 2-hour uptrend or a 30-minute uptrend. I'm sure it does somewhere in there, just not on the daily chart right now because they didn't break over any candles that broke over the 17 here. Okay, so we don't have anything for it to beat. Did it take out this peak? Yes, absolutely. Is it moving down? No, it's not. It's moving up. All right, it's coming close to actually taking out the all-time high up here. Closing up in quadrant 4. Again, it's in a downtrend on the daily chart, but it's just a label, and it's definitely not moving down at this time. All right, let's take a look at our technicals. T2122, we find ourselves back into the overbought zone. All right, drinking some more of the Bears wine up there. All right, so we're back in the overbought zone. Nice place to be if you're going to be a bull. 21.23. Putting a little more space between that prior all-time high and the price action candles. And this is supposed to be the 15-minute one. Okay, so there's the space. Green from the beginning of the day to the end of the day. Got a bullish trap. Got a bullish gap, excuse me. Moving up, holding the higher ground. Okay, so looking pretty good for consolidating over this prior all-time high. Looking like they possibly want to melt back up. We'll see what happens. Or at least make an inverse head and shoulders. So price action up over the hooking 200 SMA there. Nice work on T2123. 3-bar chart, okay? Kind of got the same thing. Went from green to red. Fell down here. And then we hit this all-time high. Hit the prior all-time high. Bounced back up over the other prior all-time high. So we went from red to green. And you can see a little more space opening up today on the green candle bars and the 17 EMA there. So price possibly heading back up to the flat 200 on the 3-bar chart. All right, that'd be nice. Like to see it just cool off. Just cool off for a week or two. Hold this ground and then start melting up. That would be nice. T2123 on the 3-bar chart. Let's take a look at FNGU. So FNGU looks like it gaps up. All right, so a bullish day. And then from there, they just got underneath VWAP and just kind of melted away. All right, from there, right back. Still holding this higher ground. Okay, so Bears filled the gap, but we still have this nice gap still open, still up over the 200 SMA and up over the all-time high anchored VWAP. And you can see how close we came to putting in a new all-time high today. Okay, it's possible that happens next week. Got some earnings coming out. We'll see what happens. All right, let's take a look at some sectors. Start off with XLE. All right, XLE still in a downtrend, moving up, and now it's moving back down. All right, so XLE putting in a lower high here. Okay, they still have the opportunity to take out these highs up here and negate the downtrend. All right, I think there's a stronger possibility to putting in a lower high, putting in a higher low, and then J-hooking off of support back up there to take out that high. I think the odds of that happening are greater than price action ripping back up here to take out this high. We'll see what happens. All right, so right now, price action for today, lower high, lower low, closing under a bullish trap, but over the rising 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP put in 2024 right there. Okay, so price action in the midst of a pullback, and now we'll see if it's going to resume its downtrend. All right, so there's XLE, just neutral here. Okay, again, moving down, giving it up, moving up, giving it up. All right, so it's just neutral. It's anybody's game. It's kind of choppy. Need them to either break this or break this, one or the other. Preferably break this. All right, it's looking good. All right, so there's daily chart for XLE, just neutral. You can see lower high, lower low. All right, let's take a look at UNG. UNG today, pulled back, not quite to the buy box yet. All right, lower high, lower low, closing under a bullish trap over the rising 17. UNG making higher lows and higher highs. UNG still in an uptrend here. Okay, so up there, no longer up in quadrant 3, or excuse me, the upper third or quadrant 4. So just kind of neutral bullish here, neutral bullish on UNG. USO looks like an inside day. Nope, lower high, lower low, closing under a bearish trap, but over the rising 17 EMA right there. No longer up in quadrant 4, closing in the upper third, still bullish on USO, over the all-time high anchored VWAP. Like I said, I saw that big green candle. I said, Just need it to cool off, all right? So maybe they consolidate. Be nice to see them consolidate with maybe a pennant would fit in really nice here. A pennant right up here between the upper third and quadrant 4 over to the right. That would be nice. That would be a nice cool off for USO. We'll see what happens, all right? Let's take a look at precious metals, SLV. All right, in an uptrend, price action today, higher low, higher high, closing over the trap, bullish trap over the 17 EMA. Price action is under the 12-year high anchored VWAP right there. Price action caught underneath the midpoint. Silver just having a hard time here getting back to the upper third or quadrant 4. Gold just finding it very easy. All right, so silver just kind of neutral. Again, moving up, giving it up, moving down, giving it up. So a little chop fest going on there. Let's take a look at GLD. All right, look at GLD. New, almost a new all-time high today for GLD. Check that out. All right, higher low, higher high, big bullish gap. That's bullish. Price action up over the bullish trap, over the rising 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP there. So price action looking dangerously close to taking out that all-time high. Really nice work. If they got over 250, I said there's a good chance we could see them run up there and tackle that high. So maybe a pullback, maybe cool off for a couple weeks, and then run back up there, you know, in a W pattern, take out that high. We'll see what happens. There's a daily chart for gold. Let's take a look at our first sector, SMH. All right, SMH putting in an outside day. That's a higher high, lower low. Closing inside a bullish trap over the rising 17. SMH in an uptrend, up in quadrant 4. That's bullish, up over the all-time high anchored VWAP, also bullish. SMH looking good. Let's take a look at XLK, technology sector. Same thing, outside day. I got to tell you, tech put in a new all-time high again today. Look at that. Okay, so there's tech putting in a new all-time high. Higher high, lower low, closing inside the bullish trap over the rising 17, over the prior all-time high anchored VWAP. All right, it's up there, up at the top of quadrant 4. That's bullish on the daily chart. That's technology sector. Let's take a look at XLI. XLI is looking good. All right, XLI has a label of a downtrend because they never took up any breaks of the 17. So what we got here is a pullback in the downtrend. It's in a downtrend, but definitely not moving down. All right, so XLI up over the all-time high anchored VWAP, up over the trap, bullish trap, up over the rising 17 EMA, up here in quadrant 4. That's bullish, just putting in an inside day, little consolidation there, inside day. Lower high, higher low, closing over the trap over the 17. Looking good, very bullish on XLI. Let's take a look at XLU. XLU's in an uptrend because you see here, say high over the 17. They took out that high. Price action got a outside day, higher high, lower low, closing over the bullish trap, over the rising 17, over the all-time high anchored VWAP, up here in quadrant 4. That's all bullish right there. XLU. XRT, retail sector. I wonder how Amazon did today. We'll go check it out after this. XRT, higher low, higher high, closing over the trap, over the 17. XRT still in an uptrend. They have not broken this low. All right, they just haven't been moving up in a long time. All right, so here's XRT right now, putting in, looking like just squeaked out a higher low here, okay, for XRT. Again, they moved up and they gave it up, so that's kind of just neutral. If they could close some candles and hold this area in the upper third, that would be bullish. They're kind of borderline bullish there, just neutral bullish here, up over the midpoint. All right, so there's XRT. Let's take a look at Amazon. Amazon having, let's see what it is on the 10-minute. See if there's anything that be had here. Yeah, that was nothing but a trickster day. They whipped up, gave you a doji, and then just melted off. So Nice rally into the end of the day. Don't like the big candle. Rather see micro candles into the end of the day. That would have been nicer. But not liking the big candle into the end of the day. Maybe that will be igniting up to 250. We'll see what happens. Okay, Amazon moving up and holding the higher ground up here. Just a really sloppy hold, but that's what happens sometimes. So you can see a move up, holding the higher ground. That is a bullish environment whenever I see that happen. Okay, but caught underneath VWAP for the whole day, except for the beginning of the day and the end of the day. There's your smiley face volume right there. Beginning of the day, end of the day over VWAP. So telling me institutions are looking at this. All right, let's take a look at IYT, last one. And I want you guys to have a great weekend. IYT, let's take a look at it on the 10-minute because they can never seem to give me a decent daily candle. All right, so what do we got here? Looks like we got a higher high and a lower low, so compared to yesterday. All right, so outside day, all right, on IYT and on the daily chart. Outside day, higher high, lower low, closing. Looks like up here in quadrant 4, or at least in the upper third, over the all-time high anchored VWAP in an uptrend because it's making higher lows and higher highs. There's the high over the 17 that it took out, over the all-time high anchored VWAP up here in quadrant 4. So transports are bullish at this time right now, okay? All right, I'll take a few questions in the room. If there's any suggestions or want me to take a look at a chart, I'll take a look at it. You can't, oh gosh. Well, I got it recorded. Well, I got it recorded, all right? So that's the good news, all right? I'll put the recording in here and you can listen to it after, all right? Sorry about that, guys. All right, everything looking bullish. SPY put in a new all-time high. XLK put in a new all-time high. Things are looking good. Closing was good. We're still bullish. All right, sorry about that. Apologize. I went to the Amigos meeting and forgot to turn the microphone back on. Didn't even look over here. It's just looking at my charts, trying to get it done. Sorry about that, okay? Let me get this recording out there, and I want to wish you guys have a wonderful weekend. Thank you. Hope y'all made some money. All right? Going to put that video up there. You'll be able to listen to it in about probably 10 minutes. I'll have that up there. All right? Everything's looking good. Everything's still bullish. All right? Still looking good. All right? Even though we had a pullback today. All right? I'll see you guys Monday at 8 o'clock. Let me end this.